iHeart Radio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland,
Leander and Silsbee, Texas,
or wherever you may be listening. This is a Throwback Thursday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. The Zone. Texas players Hill Jr., Simmons, and Michael Taft met with the media. We will hear from those guys. Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 will join us at 7:34. The Mavericks have life. Texas baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle previews a huge series that starts tonight. He joins us at 8 o'clock. Our Legends of the Locker Room segment has a very, very special guest. Kendrick Perkins talks NBA at 8:17, and so much more. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, we want you to voice your opinion. That's right. You have the right to voice your opinion. All you got to do is leave us a message by using that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Will receive your message instantly, and you might even hear it on the show, but you get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Jason Aldean. That's right, at the Moody Center, so you don't want to miss that. Mark Henry, you are on the road. Tell everybody what you got going on.
I am at WrestleMania weekend. Big weekend, Hardge. Around the world, people come to support the biggest wrestling event in the world. And this morning, I'm fired up. It's Spike. That 4 o'clock wake up call wasn't great, but once my feet touched the floor, you know what, man? The guy just said, you know what? Everybody, watch out.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Speaking of watching out, last night the Miami Heat went into Chicago and handled their business. Tyler Hero decided, if you want a hero, I am your Huckleberry, and he went out and balled out with 38 points. Andrew Wiggins was an integral part of the trade, and now he is there, and he scored 20, 109-90. Let's just be honest. Chicago, I was shocked. They didn't even look like they wanted to be there. That first quarter, that first half really put them behind the 8-ball.
You know, I'm not always the guy that's first. Heads need to roll, but they need to know.
Yes, you are.
I'm talking about the coaches and the administrators. Them guys need to have a sense of urgency. And I don't feel nothing wrong with a general manager walking in a room with a coach and saying, guys, if you don't want to play here today and tomorrow, are the days that you come and tell us that you don't want to play for us, because this was a poor representation of basketball. And it wasn't that you don't have the talent. It's the fact that the effort and the willingness to put your nose and face in harm's way. It was embarrassing. I guarantee you, people like Ron Harper and Michael Jordan and Charles Oakley and guys that played for the Bulls, they are absolutely embarrassed this morning.
Yeah, it was not a good look, but the Heat looked good, and they got an opportunity to now move on. It is interesting when you start to look at these teams and the importance of it all. And can the Miami Heat go on a little bit of a run with what we've seen from them? We still don't know. But Bam Adebayo, I kept saying he needed to show up. He had 12 boards and 15 points, so he got himself a double-double. Wiggins, he's been a key part to their success. And, of course, Tyler Hero, as I said, 38 points, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, 13 of 19 from the field. So big-time performance for him. Davion Mitchell, he was 5 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from three-point land. He ended up
Big
adding
12 guy.
Yeah, he ended up adding 15 points off the bench, so it was good to see that. But the game that we were all talking about, the Dallas Mavericks, the Mavericks going on the road to take on the Sacramento Kings. We talked about the performance before, how they got beat down during that time. Well, they decided to come out and show out. And Anthony Davis, Mr. I got my clothes on. Mr. Street Clothes decided that he wanted to play, and he was able to go out there and get 27, but it was Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, 5 of 7 from three-point line, 8 of 11 from the field. He had 23 points, and here's Klay Thompson talking about his shooting performance after last night's game.
Try not to think about it. I was like, man, the last time she was not very fun, so good win, guys.
How did it feel when the first one went down for you?
It felt really good because I thought I missed it, but it bounced up high in the air and went in, so it kind of lifted the lid off the rim for me, so it was nice.
When did you, I mean, it sounded like you were actually trying to get the thing better, but still, like, when did you start thinking?
I mean, I'm human, and, you know, it's a lot of emotion, so I thought I did a good job tonight of not forcing it. You know, human nature, when you have a season on a sour note like that, you want to come out here and prove people wrong, but I did a good job to start the game, trying to dish, rebound, play defense, and the shots came to me after that.
Hardge, Klay Thompson had every reason to fold up like a window shade when they traded Luka. Because I remember them saying that, wow, the Dallas Mavericks was just one Klay Thompson away from taking the Dallas Mavericks over the edge. And then they pulled that mess on him. But he owned it. He stepped up. Unbelievable player last night. And your boy Street Clothes, I'll tell you something. He looked like an MVP. I mean, hitting threes at a high percentage, attacking people and showing off. When was the last time you saw Anthony Davis go down the court and show off? He made moves, and then he would act like, oh, I did a fancy move. He never does that. The playoffs has done something to him. I want to see him do more of that.
Well, we need to see what's going to end up happening as they get ready to go on to the next round. You start to look at this team and you say, okay, can they do the unthinkable? Can they go to the next round and continue to make those moves? And I don't know if they have enough to do that. I think that they can with the right situation, but it is going to be tough for them to go on this little run that they're going to need to be on because of the fact that, you know as well as I do, everybody is watching this basketball team to see how they respond, what's next for them. They've got to go take on Memphis on Friday night, and Memphis is up against it. You know as well as I do, Ja Morant, the conversations that we were having, this is win or go home type of ball games right now. Can they win this matchup to get in? Miami now moves on to play Atlanta Friday night, 6 o'clock on TNT. The Friday night for Memphis and Dallas will be on ESPN. And both of those matchups are critical to the next level of this team.
I really do have a lot of faith in Dallas right now. After watching them last night, man, and how wrong I was about Chicago, I'm going to have to, I think Dallas is going to be able to, at least win one playoff series.
Wow. That will I like it, Mark. I like it. I like the thought process.
Put my name on it.
I'm seeing that. The winner of that matchup between the Grizzlies and the Mavericks, they take on the number 1 seed OKC Thunder. The Heat and Hawks winner will take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Magic already is in. The Warriors are already in. And all the other playoffs will begin April the 19th. But, Mark, I mean, you believe that Dallas can go on this run, huh?
I definitely think that they can make a run. Like, if they play like that, even the role players played up last night. You saw people hustling, diving out of bounds. They played with reckless abandon. And that's what you need. The Lakers, when I grew up, I don't know if you remember, we had Kurt Rambis.
Yeah.
Kurt Rambis was not a great player.
He was dirty.
But he was tough and he was relentless. And he got under people's skin. He rebounded. He dove out of bounds. He made it difficult for the other team to be in the plus.
Right.
And that's the way that Dallas played last night. It was impressive.
Yeah, Dallas comes out, gets the victory. Now everybody's still hollering, firing Nico, but Nico gets to live another day, and they get a chance to take on the Memphis Grizzlies with Ja Morant and his crew. Coming up next, we're going to hear from the Texas Longhorns players, Colin Simmons, Michael Tabb, and Anthony Hill Jr. At 7:34, we have Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. And to close out the hour number 1, we're going to hear from Tyron Smith as he decided it was time to hang him up. Right here on a Throwback Thursday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
As the weather heats up, the action on the diamond gets even hotter. Here's the 0-1. Swung onto the ball, hit well, out toward right, and you can say goodnight to it. Tune into Longhorn Baseball all season long.
The stretch in the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Got him on the slider. And the Longhorns with back-to-back strikeouts.
From the road to the dish. This is Longhorn Baseball on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeartCountry Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Heads up for drivers on Highway 71 westbound. We have a crash at Bee Caves Parkway that closes down all of the main lanes here, and be ready for some detours and slowdowns around this area. There's also a crash on East 4th Street near I-35 right around San Marcos Street, and an accident on Bratton Lane at Grand Avenue Parkway. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com, a single seamless home ownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, even refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things home ownership. Rocket, own the dream.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to stand out, and that's where True Green comes in. Here's the best part. It's more affordable than you think. They'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Not happy? They will come back between visits to make it right. So don't wait. Head to truegreen.com today and let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results. Exclusions apply. See truegreen.com for details.
Tickets are on sale now, y'all, for our 2025 iHeart Country Festival, presented by Capital One, happening Saturday, May 3rd at the Moody Center in Austin, Texas. Don't miss your chance to see country music's biggest superstars. Tickets are on sale now. Ticketmaster.com.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 14th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
The championship is back in the Bay for the first time in 40 years.
On the new limited podcast series, Dub Dynasty, we hear from head coach Steve Kerr on how Steph Curry almost never even joined the Warriors.
In fact, I thought we had a draft day deal to end up getting him to Phoenix.
For the entire behind-the-scenes story of Golden State's incredible 10-year run, open your free iHeartRadio app, search Dub Dynasty, and listen now.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, covering the 40 acres.
In the next segment, we have Eric Henry, of course, 24/7 breaking it down, as he is always in attendance when it comes to Texas football, the expectations, what all is going on there, getting a chance to talk to a lot of these players. But yesterday, Anthony Hill, Colin Simmons, and Michael Taft all made an appearance yesterday, Mark. And the conversation has always been about competition. Who stands out? Who are the true leaders? What is it like now? And this team continues to get better and better. You know, we start to look at what Anthony Hill was as a football player when he first got to the University of Texas. He was full of piss and vinegar. He was all over the place. I mean, this guy was running around with his hair on fire. And he turns out to be exactly that. You knew the ability. You look at a Colin Simmons who looks like Superman. I mean, this dude is put together. And you always hear those conversations about, could he go to the NFL right now? Like Adrian Peterson. He was just built different. He reminds me, Colin Simmons reminds me so much of a guy that played in the NFL. He was the #1 recruit in the country, and now he works in the front office for the New York Giants. He reminds me of Jesse Armstead. Jesse Armstead was an absolute freak when we were growing up. I got a chance to watch him play up close and personal. He was just different. He was fast, he was strong, and he was a very physical presence when you go back and you look at his high school tape. But Anthony Hill is a guy, too, that initially when you start to look back at Texas's great linebackers, and we've talked to Derek Johnson about this as well, because Derek gets a chance to be around these kids. He said his mind and his motor is just totally different. You know, he is a difference maker. He's the one that makes the calls now. He has grown up around some of these other young leaders or older leaders when he came in, and now he's the guy. But one of the questions that was asked to him yesterday was, how competitive are the practices? You know, because everybody knows what it's like to be in there. You've been in there, Mark. You've been in many locker rooms where everybody's in competition. And it's just funny to me because how competitive are the practices? That's what it's supposed to be like every single day. It's supposed to be competitive. You want iron sharpens iron. So it's always funny when you ask it, but now the competition is getting even greater.
I mean, it's pretty competitive out there. I mean, we go to work every day. Like DJ Campbell, they're always talking. NATO, we're always talking with each other, poking fun. So it's been pretty fun practice.
And you know who else has been talking a lot? Arch Manning. Arch Manning's been talking to him, giving it to him, and trying to pull the best out of each one of those players, man.
Hardge, there's always the alpha guys.
Yeah.
And Texas has them on offense and they have them on defense. A lot of times there's a strong defensive identity and our team has a strong offensive identity. It's been a long time since we looked at Texas and said, wow, man, I don't know where they're the strongest.
Right.
Is it the offense? Is it the defense? Arch is going to be a deciding factor in the conversation. What he comes out and does and the way that he looks is dependent on that offensive line. You know, I always bring it back to the hog mollies, the big guys, the road graders, the buffet killers, whatever you want to call them. The offensive line dictates whether you run the ball with a cloud of smoke or your quarterback can stand back there and his uniform is not dirty.
I like the buffet killers. That's pretty good. I like that one, Mark. That's pretty dope. I like that. I like the buffet killers. That's nice. I like that. But you know, you continue to look at these guys and you try to understand who they are. And Anthony Hill now has stepped up in that position of leadership. And he was asked about being a leader and who's kind of following him along the way.
Like pretty much the whole linebacker crew. We all kind of help each other a lot, like Bo and a lot of the let me see. That's a good question. Like pretty much Bo, me and him, we help him a lot and try to push him through and help him get.
And Bo is somebody that has been a part of the success of this program. He's been an integral part of who they want to see. And everybody's trying to figure out, who is Bo? Who is Bo? Well, Bo is one of the linebackers that is going to be important to the success of the program. But another program builder is a guy that you and I are very, very fond of, and that is Colin Simmons. Colin Simmons and Elijah Bo Barnes is who the linebacker room, who Anthony Hill was talking about, who's kind of stepped up and who he's kind of got a special liking to at this particular moment. But a guy that has stepped up and made a lot of hay early in his time at the University of Texas is one Colin Simmons. Colin Simmons won the Sean Alexander Award for the best freshman in the land, and he spoke about how important that was for him and his family.
That was a special moment, dog. I'm gonna be real. It was a special moment for me and my family because my family was there also. It was just a special moment for me. I hope it. I'm pretty sure it was a special moment for Mr. Alexander also, and it just felt great. It felt great holding that trophy in my hand, dog, because I feel like I worked so hard for it, and I feel like this school helped me get it.
The school helped me get it. This dude's a freak, man.
Yeah, it ain't there's no way around it. Hardge, you know who we not talking about a lot? Who is somebody that made a lot of plays and they didn't start? Is Ethan Burke.
Yeah.
Like, how important could he be in the grander scheme of things? Playing defensive tackle, playing defensive end. The dude played all the way up and down the line. And he still made plays.
Well, the other part of it too, you and I were talking about Ty Anthony Smith, right? Like, what is he going to be on this team? A lot of people are talking about Warren Roberson and what he brings, his athleticism. They all have mentioned this young man's name, and he continues to be a part of this. But Colin Simmons, if he was on the field even more so, he's going to be in that conversation for a Butkus Award. He's going to be in the conversation for a Lombardi Award. I can't emphasize enough about how mature this young man's appearance is. And he has motivation. He has people that he plays for. And one of his friends, I guess you could say, is Micah Parsons. He was wearing number 11 when he first got to the University of Texas, but he decided that he was going to switch his number to the number 1. And he was asked about the number 1 and what Micah Parsons thought about him switching his number from number 11 to number 1.
Me and Micah actually had that conversation early on at the Super Bowl. He knew I was changing my number, and I kind of told him that I wanted to take my own path and my own lane, and he understood it. But, he don't want me to change it, but I had to, dog.
What's it like to kind of have someone like that, though, to be in your corner so you can look up to, but also, bounce ideas off of?
Nah, it feels great, for sure, having somebody by my side and, in my corner, giving me that courage and giving me that advice and stuff like that.
So why number 1?
Why number 1? Because I'm the one.
Let them know.
Why number 1?
Let them know.
Yeah. That was our guy Corey Mose of KVU that had that sound. He was letting them know I'm number 1 because I am the one. But I do love the fact that the confidence in what he's bringing to this field, and he's one of those players that you can't take him off the field. He has to ask to come off for a play or two. He needs to be on the field all the time, and I expect to see that this year. We'll continue the conversations a little bit later. I also want you to hear from Michael Taft, Mookie. But coming up next, we've got our guy, Eric Henry of Horns 24/7, coming up next to talk about this Texas football team and what he's learned thus far. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
All lanes are closed down due to a wreck on Highway 71 westbound at Bee Caves Parkway. A crash has moved over to the right shoulder on Mopac northbound at Davis Lane. And looking at the drive on I-35 northbound, some stop-and-go speeds about a 10 to 12-minute add to the drive from Onion Creek Parkway up to William Cannon. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bosch. With the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer, you can conquer your construction needs, and you can powerfully break through concrete. Get the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Hey, it's your boy Mike Hardge here, and I'm rolling in style with MyPlates.com.
And I'm the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. You know I got to have a license plate as strong as my legacy.
That's right, Mark. MyPlates.com lets you customize your Texas license plates with your name, your team, your passion, whatever makes your ride stand out.
And big or small, My Place has it all. You want bold, you want style, you want to turn heads at every stoplight, My Place has you covered.
Plus, it's easy. Just hop on MyPlates.com, pick your design, and make it yours. And now, you can even score discounts on select plates.
So why ride with a boring plate when you can flex on them with My Plates?
That's right. Go to MyPlates.com today and customize your Texas license plate.
And get yours now before I go out and take them all.
So visit MyPlates.com and use the promo code THEZONE, all one word, THEZONE, to save up to $55. And don't be boring. Be exciting. And tell them Mike Hardge
and Mark Henry
sent you.
Spring has sprung and it's full tilt boogie time at GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 five-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
If you're in the market for a wood fence for your home or business, Viking Fence is the right choice for you. Viking Fence has been in business for over 50 years and takes pride in being the most reliable fence company in Central Texas. Viking Fence does gorgeous work, from simple privacy fences to custom projects. Their quality is unmatched. Viking is the only fence company with their own facility where they custom cut red cedar, the most durable and attractive of fence materials, and offer 3 grades of fence pickets, one for every budget. Compare their lumber against the big box stores. And there is no comparison on quality and price. So whether Viking installs your fence or you're doing it yourself, Viking Fence will ensure your satisfaction. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 for a free estimate or visit their wood fence galleries at vikingfence.com. When you think fence, think Viking.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $50,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet will always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
NBA play-in, the Heat torch the Bulls, Mavericks crush the Kings. The Heat will visit the Hawks for the East 8th seed tomorrow night. Grizzlies will host the Mavericks for the 8th seed in the West. Astros fell to the Cardinals, dropping 2 of 3 in St. Louis. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones confirmed retired offensive lineman Tyron Smith and Zach Martin will both be inducted in the Ring of Honor. I'm Rhonda Moss.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
That feeling of owning your first Mercedes-Benz is hard to believe, but it's real. From the leather stitching to the iconic design, every element of a Mercedes lives up to its reputation. See for yourself at your local dealer. Offers are waiting.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff. At the top of the hour, we'll have Coach Jim Schlossnagle as he prepares for a big-time matchup against the Auburn Tigers. Top 10 matchup. My boy Eric Henry will be there as well. But, let's get into the conversation. We are joined by Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. You can follow him at Eric C. Henry _. And we got a chance to meet with Sark earlier in the week. Yesterday, you got a chance to meet with the players, and we started the conversation off about Colin Simmons and the maturity level, both physically and mentally, of this young man. I've seen one person that has been at that level, and that was Jesse Armstead in my time growing up. But when you look at him and Anthony Hill, for that matter, these are some of the most mature young under 21 players that I've seen in a real long time.
Yeah, first of all, as always, good morning. Appreciate y'all having me on. Yeah, I couldn't help but laugh and kind of smile when you mentioned Colin Simmons, Hardge, because I don't say this lightly, okay? I'm not trying to be hyperbolic when I say this. I've covered some, fairly good players in my time doing this, and I've covered NFL players. I think Colin Simmons is going to be the best player in terms of college and likely the pro that I'll ever cover. And I say that, the reason I say that is because of partially what you just mentioned. it's one thing to have the God-given ability, right? Hard, you know this. Mark, you know this as well. Plenty of guys have the God-given ability, but it's the maturity, it's the confidence, it's the awareness of understanding that you have that ability, and that if you keep, your head on straight and you work at it and you have the desire to do what you can do, you can be one of the greats. And that is just one of the things. Even last year, speaking with him yesterday for a second, even last year when we spoke with Colin, you saw someone who had that relationship with Micah Parsons, right? After growing up there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and wanting to emulate his game after some of the great pass rushers, kind of the way he talked about how he modeled his game and the way he studies film and looks at guys. He doesn't just study film look at college guys. He looks at the greats, right? That to me is something that is super impressive. So both he and Anthony Hill. And another thing I think, for Colin, coming from that Duncanville program, a program that, of course, produces plenty of D1 talent every year, and the same thing with Anthony Hill coming from Ryan. I don't think that hurts as well.
I'm on the board with you, man. Like, I don't know if you ever watched the movie The Matrix, but it's about confidence. It's about the belief in yourself. And that's what I see Colin Simmons having. That's what I see Anthony Hill having. Those guys, and they compete with, I got to know more than him. That's a good problem to have. Floyd Mayweather, people can talk about Floyd all they want to, but he said one of the most profound things I ever heard. You got to work like you don't have talent. And Floyd does that, and that's what I see with these guys. They want to be better than everybody. And you got two that are like, I'm going to outstudy you. I tell my son is at Oklahoma, and I tell him, man, you got to study the film. You got to find somebody on that team that all they want to do, all the eggs in one basket. They don't want to be a doctor. They don't want to be a lawyer. They want to be a football player.
No, I'm super cutting you off, Big Mark, but I agree with you. It's two things real quick you said there. One, I think it's funny that you referenced the movie The Matrix, because Colin Simmons, talking about the confidence aspect, when he was asked, hey, why'd you switch from 11, which of course he wore because of Micah Parsons, to 1, he said, because I'm the one, right? And I couldn't resist referencing The Matrix in the story I wrote on him yesterday. But to your point, I think are all valid points. And also, let's just look at it this way, right? From a culture standpoint, Michael Tabb spoke about this when we spoke with him yesterday, saying that, hey, he's not shading, any of the other situations around college football and Nico, leaving Tennessee for more money, this, that, and the other, allegedly, leaving for more money. But that Texas's culture, it's all about ball. And I think to bring it all the way back around to your point with Colin Simmons and Anthony Hill, is you have guys, 5-star talents, they could look to hit the portal. I'm sure that there are teams who, would come up with some outrageous number, $4 million, $5 million to try to sway those type of guys, but they're fully committed and fully bought into being Longhorns, right? So I think in combination with all the things you talked about, just the culture that Steve Sarkisian and company have built, it's certainly helping get the most out of them.
We're talking to Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. You can follow him at Eric C. Henry _. And he talk about it a little bit more because they talked about the competition and how much of the competition is going on in practice. Obviously, Arch Manning had mentioned it. Michael Taft always talks about it. But talk about how these players are really enjoying the grind of being out on the field every day.
Yeah, something that's interesting, Hardge, is in previous years, also the last 2 years, the team was really veteran-laden, right? Mm-hmm. And I think, what's the thing that you always hear when you talk with NFL pros or guys in the 6th, 7th, 8th year, right? Off season, all right, yeah, you do it, you kind of get through it, so on and so forth, but you really just are looking to the regular season. When you got a roster that is this young, I think one of the things that's been palpable is the amount of guys who are competing because they're looking to establish their own name, right? You don't have guys who are established vets who more or less, although, yeah, you come in and say all the things while people are competing for starting jobs. Back in, the last 2 years, you had X amount of this roster that knew, okay, this is kind of my role. I'm going to start, so on and so forth. You don't have that this year, right? You have a huge crop of new guys who are looking to establish themselves. And I'm going to be really interested not only in some of the younger guys, but some of the new additions, right? You get a Jack Endries coming in from Cal, or I guess tentatively coming in from Cal.
Right. I got you.
Broken that on your show. Tentatively coming in from Cal at tight end. You get an Emmett Mosley coming in from Stanford, right? So those are things there that I think when you add in new guys who are just eager to prove themselves in the burnt orange and white, I think that is going to create something that's real unique. And again, not saying that you haven't seen it in years past, but it's just different when you have guys who are looking to establish themselves as opposed to maybe guys who are a little more established in the past.
Yeah, let's transition to the diamond real quick because we're going to be up against it in just a moment. But this weekend, Texas baseball has another top 10 matchup against the Auburn Tigers. Auburn swept LSU this past weekend, and Texas is dealing with some injuries on the home front. What are your thoughts about this weekend coming up?
I think it's another test for Jim Schlossnagel's team, right? You know, one of the things that Schloss has talked about, and one of the things he's kind of implemented, you know, this Hardge, is the culture aspect, not to kind of sound repetitive from football, but having these guys believing that they are going to go out and win every single time to a scoreboard, or not playing to a standard, not a scoreboard. Now, how do you do it, right? You lost Max Ballou. Ethan Mendoza's banged up a little bit. He's day-to-day. We'll see what happens there. That, to me, I think is a real interesting test for this team. And one thing I genuinely think is it's helping shape them, right? The fact that they're now going to go through some adversity. How do they handle that? Because I think if this team can continue to, you know, they're not going to sweep everybody. They continue to win 2 out of 3 and win series and play good baseball and have different guys step up. That's only going to shape them well down the stretch as they could potentially get a Max Ballou for a postseason run and a run to Omaha.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting time, and that is why this weekend is going to be so big. We got Coach Schlossnagel coming up at 8, but of course, it's always good to chop it up with my guy, Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. Get over and follow his work, and also follow him at Eric C. Henry _. As always, E, thanks, brother.
Appreciate y'all.
There he is, Eric Henry. Coming up next, a Dallas Cowboy decided to walk away, and we're going to let you hear from him right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, a real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Bonus bucks. Bonus bucks. Once you win $1,000 in bonus bucks, you'll have more money to use on your fantasy leagues. Bonus bucks. The winning happens every weekday, right here
on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
All lanes are closed down due to a wreck on Highway 71 westbound at Bee Caves Parkway. A crash has moved over to the right shoulder on Mopac northbound at Davis Lane. And looking at the drive on I-35 northbound, some stop-and-go speeds about a 10 to 12-minute add to the drive from Onion Creek Parkway up to William Cannon. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bosch. With the Bosch 18-volt 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll be driving bolts and screws with ease. And when your work feels like sending a flying elbow from the top turnbuckle, get the Bosch 18-volt 2-in-1 impact driver. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day.
Who let the
Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Summer's just around the corner. You remember summer? Hot, sticky, and almost unbearable. That's the one. It was brutal. This is Nolan Ryan. Be ready for another Texas scorcher with American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. American Standard Air. Clean, efficient, and dependable. Nothing better for your hill country home. Invest in your family's comfort. Take my word. Why fry? AmericanStandardAir.com. Comfort the way you like it.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at NissanUSA.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers at Zaxxas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit FredLoya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Wake up with Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Great stuff by Eric Area 447. Make sure you follow him as Texas will have a big-time matchup coming up at the top of the hour. We'll talk to Coach Jim Slosson about this weekend and get an injury update and let us know what's going on. But yesterday, a Cowboy legend decided to walk away. Tyron Smith, one of the greatest offensive linemen to ever play for the Dallas Cowboys, who, by the way, if you saw that picture of him, he looked like he still might be able to go out there and block for a couple minutes if necessary, because he looks like he is in the best shape of his life. But yesterday, he talked about his former team, some of his former players, and left a message to Cowboy Nation. But we'll start off about how he will miss the boys.
All the bonding that we always did and all the trips and training camp and all that things like that. And mostly anything, I just missed my guys. Miss my guys and miss the coaches, miss all the relationships. But obviously we'll continue that on best as possible.
And you know, Mark, you know this as well as I do. You were back in Vegas right now for WrestleMania. And I'm sure yesterday there was a big get-together for all the old heads. I got a chance to watch Tony Atlas's story that you were a part of and being able to produce that. And it is refreshing when you think about missing the guys when you walk away from it. You're not in the locker room every day. You're going through all these other different things. But it's always cool to be around some of your former players.
It's always – it's like medicine. you see them, and then you don't see them for years, and you jump right back in where you left off.
Exactly.
It's like you never missed a day. And yes, there's a lot of that going on. I didn't have a chance yesterday, Hardge, to get with anybody because I had so much business to handle, so many meetings.
And we're glad you didn't, because that means you were going to be fresh today. So I appreciate that, bro.
Hey, look at me, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, man, I'm proud of you, dog. I'm proud of you. I must say.
I was early.
Yeah, you were. I was like, man, I'm glad my boy is right. My boy is right. But yeah, so you get back and you get a chance to see some of the old people that you went through the grind with, and one of those people was DeMarcus Ware. DeMarcus Ware was a very integral part to the success of Tyron Smith because they were going at each other every single day at practice. So they got better and better, each of them. And he had a special message to DeMarcus as well.
That man is sitting in the back over there, D. Ware, taught me a lot, helped me be who I am today. And I still owe the credit to that man for teaching me how to shave my head.
You see how that goes. We know how it goes. Eventually, they're like, hey, bro, go ahead and cut that off, man. There's no need to keep that.
Yeah, and it's funny that when you're a young guy, there's a lot of things you got to learn. And if you never shaved your head before, and you shaving against the grain and all kind of stuff, like you need a vet to come up and say, hey, young fella, come here.
Yeah.
Like, stop doing that. That's why your head look like a pizza.
Yeah, you want to snap, crackle, and pop like I told you before. You can't do that. He also had a message for Cowboy, finished his career as a Jet, but he came back and signed that one-day contract with the Dallas Cowboys, and he had a shout-out for Cowboys Nation.
Cowboy Nation, thank you for embracing me, supporting me, and making these 14 years unforgettable. I'm excited for the next chapter and spending more time with my family and watching my kids grow up. But for now, it's time to go. I got kids to wrestle, and I'm on nighttime baby shift. Thank you.
Nighttime baby shift. I like that. He understands what it's all about. He understands what his new journey is going to be. He's going to be
what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a beautiful thing. Like there's so many athletes that, that run from it. Like, I'm not telling you to run to it. Get your career established. And he was able to make a lot of money in his career, Hardge. It's not like he's got to worry about the ends being met. And him and his wife can really take time to love on those babies and raise them correctly.
No doubt. And finally, he had an opportunity to give a shout out to the one and only QB1, number 4, who is I didn't realize this, but you know as well as I do, you got to have an offensive lineman as a best friend.
I also want to recognize Dak Prescott, one of the best teammates I ever had. Dak cares deeply about everyone in the locker room, and he's more than a teammate. He's a lifelong friend. And I'll always have your back. You always be QB1 to me.
Man. I love that.
That's my quarterback.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I know Mark is gonna have to pull that sound up to real old. It's my quarterback, man.
Right. That's right. You don't even need it. You got it now with Tyron Smith. Look, this is one of those guys that is definitely going right into the Ring of Honor. Jerry already stated that they're going into the Ring of Honor. It's so crazy. He's going to put the players in before he put in Jerry. Before he took so long to give Jimmy in there. So we shall see how it's going to play out. But I'm excited.
You love to stir the pot.
Oh, yeah.
How you do that, man? The Crypt Keeper, he held a grudge against Jimmy.
Yeah, but still, you can't do that. You can't do that. Don't hold a grudge against him because since he's left, since you've been gone.
God, stop it.
It's been real ugly around Arlington. So I don't want to hear it. I think things should be more excited about what's going on. But yes, he said that they will go into the Ring of Honor. And as soon as they're eligible, you know that those two are both first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah, they deserve it. I mean, there was about a 10-year stretch where if you tried to blitz or pass rush Teron Smith, it was like running into a brick wall.
Yeah, it is definitely something that we're going to be paying attention to moving on. What will the Cowboys do? The draft is a week from today. We will be at Twin Peaks. We'll give you more of that information as well. But coming up next, we've got Texas baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle as he gets ready for a big weekend and also recap what's going on the 40 acres right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
It's my quarterback.
Spring is here, and that means time to gear up for graduation gifts and summertime adventures. Whether it's a fresh ride for the grad or a tough truck for your next getaway, Cover Ford and Hutto has what you need. Go see them for great deals like a new 2024 Ford Super Duty Lariat for $10,696 off of MSRP, a new 2024 Ford Mustang EcoBoost Premium for $9,166 off of MSRP, or a new 2024 Ford Expedition Timberline for $9,000 off of MSRP. See dealer for details. CoverFordHutto.com.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker. Bring out the good.
Get ready, Longhorn Nation. Texas Athletics is rolling out the burnt orange carpet for an action-packed football fan day at Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium on Saturday, April 26th. Admission is free for all fan activities, including autographs, on-field experiences, the Team Shop Fire Sale, and more. This fan-friendly event kicks off at 9 a.m. with the annual Team Shop Fire Sale. Grab exclusive merchandise and get autographs from your favorite Longhorn football players. Experience the thrill of Campbell Williams Field and immerse yourself in the excitement of Texas Football Fan Day. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to celebrate with fellow fans. Best of all, admission is free. So let's review. Join us for Football Fan Day on Saturday, April 26th. It's our day to celebrate you, our loyal fans. And we've got so much going on, starting with the annual Team Shop Fire Sale at 9 a.m., where you'll find our largest collection of gear not previously available to the general public, ready for purchase. We'll see you there, Longhorn Nation.
I wasn't aware of flats. Now, I've been eating chicken wings for a long, long time, but the place that is known for flats. Now, explain what flats are, Seton.
Flats are the ones they have like 2 bones.
Yeah.
Usually they're a little more work, but might taste a little better.
The Bar in Wisconsin has been doing this, the best chicken wings since 1988.
Flats only.
Yeah, 6 locations throughout the Northeast region and just a couple of blocks from historic Lambeau. And it's The Bar on Holmgren Way. Please join us for Drafts at the Draft at The Bar. We'll be there doing our show all week long, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Entertainment, live music. They have trivia. They have bingo. They have pickleball, cornhole. They got it all. Private events, party spaces, game day, non-game day events. You can host your special events for your family and friends or corporate events. You can visit us at meetatthebar.com to find the location nearest you. That's meetatthebar.com. Let us be your headquarters for fun.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital, and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We talked NBA, we talked Texas football, and we got a chance to talk about a Cowboy legend. But right now we are joined on the line with the head baseball coach of the University of Texas, #1 ranked University of Texas, Jim Schlossnagle. And Coach, I know that it has been a busy week, a lot going on. There's been an adjustment to the schedule to this week. But most importantly, you got a chance to go on the road and get a huge series victory again against Kentucky. Then you came home and got a chance to defeat UTRGV. Talk to us a little bit about your squad and what's going on.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, it was a good week for us. I think anytime you go on the road in the SEC, or not, I know anytime you go on the road in the SEC and you find a way, not just win a game, but win a series. It doesn't matter who you're playing. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. The margin for error is so thin. There was certainly a pathway for us to sweep, and there was certainly a pathway for us to get swept. So really proud of our team, especially given the injuries, different things we've had to overcome, the weather up there, different game times, having to play super early in the morning on East Coast time. Really, really proud of our guys. And then play a 15-inning game, 5.5 hours, and that took a lot out of us. But really proud of the team and their toughness and resiliency they showed. Kentucky showed the same thing. We just happened to get one more timely hit than they did. And then Tuesday night, UTRGV is for real. That's a team that's going to be in somebody's regional. It's going to be heck to deal with. And one of my former assistants, Derek Matlock, is just killing it down there. And we played, they gave us some free bases, but we swung the bat well and felt good to be back home. And now we have a short turnaround to play a top 10 Auburn team that just swept LSU. So no rest for the weary.
It's funny that you bring that up about the UTRGV team, and the D1 had their way too early projections for regional, and they have UTRGV in the same regional with you guys here in Austin, Texas. So to back up your point, that is a team that definitely is for real.
Yeah, they really are. The veteran team of balanced lineup. We didn't see their weekend pitchers. Of course, they didn't see ours either, but they're a club that you can see really turning some heads when it comes to NCAA tournament time. So I was glad we get out of there with a win.
Coach, I know y'all don't run from situations because y'all Texas. When you have a short turnaround, does it change your game plan any?
Can certainly, you got to keep an eye on your pitching staff. Guys like Jared Spencer and Harrison. Harrison didn't go too deep in the game the other day, but Ruger threw a lot, and so did Jared. So you got to change their routine a little bit. Maybe they do a little bit less than what they would normally do between starts. Of course, that's the same thing for Auburn. They have a short turnaround too. So, but in terms of strategy, we'll just have to keep an eye on the pitching, and maybe if it looks like they're wavering a little bit early, you might have to pull the trigger on the bullpen. But hopefully that won't be the case.
Texas will take on the number 8 team in the nation, the Auburn Tigers. And Coach, our initial meeting when we met with you, you talked about, every weekend in the SEC has got a super regional feel to it. You've held that true to form because of your experience over at Texas A&M. And you start to look at every single week, we've had a top 10 matchup at the Dish. This is what the fans have been wanting, but what have you seen from Auburn after they just swept LSU this weekend in them coming in?
Can really pitch. I mean, to this point, LSU is the best pure baseball team. Georgia's super talented and has a lot of power, but LSU, to this point, is the best team we've played all year, and it's not really that close. And Auburn just swept them 3 times. I mean, won 3 games and outpitched them, which is hard to do with LSU's pitching and LSU's bullpen. And then they have 2 or 3. One of my favorite players in the league, Ike Irish. I think he's going to be a long-time major league player, left-handed hitter that he just doesn't fold. Like, he stays on lefties. You can't outmatch him. You can't overpower him. He uses the whole field to hit. I mean, one of the great things for our fans, I hope they, appreciate, is when these teams come in, like, you're watching future major leaguers and sometimes in less than a year. I mean, Wyatt Langford, you watch him play at Florida one year and the next year he's hitting home runs for the Rangers. So when you get this level of baseball, you're certainly going to root for your team, but you have to appreciate the talent of what's going on the other side of the field. So, their starting pitching's outstanding. The bullpen's elite. It's a national championship contender.
Yeah, and this is a team that all they continue to do is get better and better. Experienced staff as well. And, Coach, there's been some adjustments to the times also. Not only is it a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe this is the first time all season that Texas has done that, coinciding with Easter weekend. But the game tonight will be at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow night, it will be at 6 o'clock. And then on Saturday, it will be at a noon start. How do you, obviously last week you got 2 11 a.m. Central Time starts, but how do you kind of handle that situation as well, as far as making sure your team gets enough rest to come back out and get ready to go?
Yeah, we were actually a little more intense in our practice yesterday than we normally would on a Wednesday. Wednesday normally super light, but we kind of treated it like a Thursday. I'm starting to sound like a football coach here. How these guys, talk about their days and how regimented they are. But yeah, we may do a few things lighter in batting practice today just to keep them off their feet and try and be a little more fresh. But that's what baseball is. We're constantly dealing with weather and game time changes. I think originally we were supposed to play, ESPN wanted us to play 7-7 and noon. And then when we found out because of Auburn's flight, we had to play at noon on Saturday. Then we moved the Friday game to 6 o'clock. So it's part of it. We're prepared for it, but you basically just beg your team, hey man, as soon as this game's over, win or lose, just get in bed. And it's easy for a 54-year-old guy like me to run home and get in bed. Sometimes these guys think they can soar with the Eagles and still hoot with the Owls, which you can't do that.
Yeah, but, we both know that.
No, not at all.
Yeah, these guys. Yeah, but our guys will be ready to go. And same thing's true for Auburn. They have to deal with the same stuff.
Well, and I know that you're going to keep your rotation the same. You're going to go with Spencer. You're going to go with Harrison, and I believe you're going to go with Riojas in this rotation again, correct?
Yeah, we'll keep those guys the same this week. Then the beauty of these Thursday to Saturday series, they kind of stink on the front end because you don't get as much rest leading up to them. But it is nice to have, especially Easter Sunday. It's not obviously. I don't think anybody should be playing on Easter, just my own personal opinion, but some people do. But this is something that Coach Thompson at Auburn and we actually did it last year at A&M. The coaches have the right, if they agree, to move the series up on Easter weekend, and we did that. So hopefully we'll have some success, and everybody can kind of get away for at least a day on Sunday, enjoy Easter with family and celebrate Christ rising.
No doubt. And I wanted to ask you this right here. Ethan Mendoza is somebody that's been dealing with some injuries. Adrian Rodriguez as well as Max Ballou. What is the latest on those 3 guys that are very integral to the success of this team?
Yeah, Max, I would say Max is the furthest from playing, but he got his stitches out earlier this week, and he started rehab, moving that thumb around and trying to strengthen that. So he's got to get full range of movement first, and then start strength training in it. And, maybe he's back before the season's over. The thing we have to keep into account with these guys is, they have long-term careers.
Yep.
And we would never want to, as much as we want to win, somebody has to be the adult in the room, even when the player really wants to get back out there. You got to find that point where it's safe for him to play, where he doesn't either re-injure it for our own team or re-injure it for himself that affects his career. So Adrian has obviously been playing. He has some limitations, but he's given us everything he can, depending on how he feels each day. That it's not just but I mean, it's a deep bruise, really, edema, I guess you'd call it, in his hand. And some days it feels like it's almost all the way back, and other days that, maybe one swing kind of bothers him. Mendoza, we'll see how he feels today. He swung the bat in practice at the end of practice yesterday in the cages. Felt pretty good. So there's a shot that he could maybe be in the lineup in some form this weekend. We'll just wait and see how he feels when we get out there today.
No doubt about it. Well, best of luck. I will be on the call for ESPN Plus this week, so I'll get a chance to be out there every single day. But regardless, best of luck to you guys, as I know that, once again, it's the SEC, and that means that you're going to have a tough matchup every single week. So best of luck, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Hook 'em.
No doubt. There he is, Coach Schlossnagle, getting prepared for another top 10 matchup this weekend at the Dish. Coming up next, we've got a special guest, Kendrick Perkins, going to talk all things NBA, and we'll find out who he believes is going to be the NBA champion right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show, weekdays at 2.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. That's money. Enter it now at am1300thezone.com.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Delays are growing for a crash on the 130 toll road southbound near the Limmer Loop. You're now backed up from County Road 105, causing a 30-minute delay. Police activity has the right lane blocked off on the upper deck of I-35 southbound at 38.5 Street, and Highway 71 westbound is closed down for a crash at Bee Caves Parkway. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cedar Park Overhead Doors. There's a lot riding on your garage door working properly. There's no time to get stuck. When you need emergency and same-day service, Cedar Park is here to help. For the best openers, best price, and best service, call Cedar Park Overhead Doors today or online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are reigning. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit Fred fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
Hey guys, get ready for the next hilarious PayPal campaign with Will Ferrell singing his rendition of Fleetwood Mac's Go Your Own Way. Wait for it, in a bathtub. Check out the teaser on Thursday, April 17th and the commercial on Saturday, April 19th during the basketball games this weekend.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket. Own the dream.
Rapid radios are the official walkie-talkie of the Dan Patrick Show. You can reach your aging parents anywhere at any time with Rapid Radios push-to-talk devices, providing clear contact nationwide on an LTE network. 100% private, no subscriptions ever. Visit rapidradios.com. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com. Get up to 60% free shipping from Michigan. Add code radio25. Get an extra $25 off and free EMP protection bag.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 14th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Legends of the locker room. Hey, legends of the locker room. We is going live and we taking over just for you. Legends of the locker room. Legends of the locker room. We live on the air and you know that we will speak the truth. Legends of the locker room. Legends of the locker room. We just going live and we taking over just for you. Legends of the locker room. Legends of the locker room. We live on the air and you know that we speak the truth.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff. As you can hear right there, it is a special segment called the Legends of the Locker Room. And what better way than have a legend of the locker room than bringing somebody from the great state of Texas, as we all like to claim it as home. He is the one and only Kendrick Perkins. How you doing, big fella?
I'm doing well, man. How y'all doing? What's today? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. And your schedule gets you confused every day because you are all over the place and easy to be seen. And we wanted to get right into the conversation because this NBA season has been filled with so many different turns, going back to Luka, LeBron in his 200th season in the NBA, and the way that everything is playing out this year. Did you see it being this wild and woolly heading into the season?
I didn't, and I think everything took a turn. When Luka was traded, where it actually started with Jimmy Butler wanting out of Miami.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you start seeing the disappointments around the league, right? The Philadelphia 76ers because of injury, the Phoenix Suns because they couldn't get their chemistry right, lack of leadership. And then all of a sudden we see Luka get traded and we like, hold on, okay, we got action.
Kendrick, My thing is, did you see the Chicago game last night?
I did.
How embarrassed would you be if you were a former Bull and you had to watch your team go out and play that poorly?
Well,
With no
I mean, I would be embarrassed, but you know, you have to have a different type of mindset in order to battle out of being in the play-in tournament, meaning being in that 9th to 10th spot, having to play again just to get to the postseason, the mental toughness to know that you're getting to fighting for an 8th spot, and then gotta possibly face see the Cleveland Cavaliers where you probably don't have a shot. Your mental toughness have to be there. And I called it the other night on SportsCenter before the game even happened. I said the Miami Heat is going to win this game because they've been in this position before, right? And that Heat culture is going to kick in, that mental toughness. And, if you're a Bulls fan, at some point you got to be sick and tired of, straddling the fence, or should I say being in the middle. You're either trying to compete for a title or you're trying to build for the future. And right now, the pieces that they have don't tell me that they're doing either one of them. It's like, okay, why am I sitting up here having this last stretch of games like the Bulls had in the regular season where they were sitting up here winning games when maybe they could have set Kobe White, I don't want to use the word tank, and say, you know what, let us try to strike something in this draft. So I know the Bulls fans, they're frustrated as far as the lack of effort last night, but they've been frustrated for the last 6 or 7 years, to be honest with you, because it's just that we don't want to be in the middle. We're the Chicago Bulls. We're about championships. We need a true franchise guy in here that's going to be able to take us to the promised land. I'm not saying that Kobe White future is not bright, but he's not the guy that you're going to build around.
No, Kendrick, last night we got to see Dallas play at a really high level, and I made the statement, I hung my hat on it, that I felt like that. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
That I felt like Dallas could give OKC a run. And my Hardge said, man, you crazy. What do you think about that? Anthony Davis played like a wild man. If he can play like that and Klay Thompson can step up like that, I feel like they can give OKC a run.
Well, let me say this. I believe that they're going to beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay? But they're going to lose if they do, they're going to lose it to OKC in 5. And here's why. You need perimeter play. You need that guard that's going to be able to put pressure on the Oklahoma City defense. They have number 1 defense, and all those guys on the perimeter can slide those puppies. Now, when I look at the front court of Dallas, they give you life, right? The most athletic front court, to me, the best defensive front court in Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively. But again, when you talk about going against the best in the league, best in the Western Conference, you got to have that guy that can get buckets. And I understand Klay got off yesterday, but that's not going to happen against Oklahoma City. They have 5 or 6 dogs on the perimeter that's going to get on your ass like back pockets.
For sure. We're talking to Kendrick Perkins of ESPN. He is one of the best that's out there, and he always gives it to you raw and uncut. But I wanted to ask you this, because the conversation you brought up earlier about Jimmy Butler going to Golden State, he is somebody that playoff Jimmy decided to show up just the other day. But again, the journey is going to be a little bit harder because they have to be able to go out there and do it night in and night out. And going up against them young Thundercats that I like in Houston, it's going to be tough for them to be able to do that every single night. But looking at H-Town, what do you like about that team, and do you think they can pull it off against the Warriors?
I do. I actually had that series going 7 games. I give a slight edge to the Golden State Warriors because they have 2 closers in the experience. But I will say this: the Rockets, their future is extremely bright. I call after Şengün, baby Jokic. I'm looking at Amen Thompson, who I believe in possibly the next 2 to 3 years could be the best two-way player in the game. They have the experience, championship experience in the locker room and on the floor in Jeff Green and Fred VanVleet. And so I'm looking at the wild card. This is a time for Jalen Green. He's auditioning right now at the moment. When you think about all what they're talking about, what they're saying, the KD rumors, he's going to be involved with that if they do happen to trade for Kevin Durant this summer. And so when I'm looking at Jalen Green, I'm looking at him to go out there and be that guy that's going to be able to audition and show that he could go toe-to-toe with the best of them if it get late in the fourth quarter. But I'm going to say this about Golden State. Steve Kerr can keep playing if he want to and don't play Jonathan Kuminga. They go get their behind sent home. Jonathan Kuminga athleticism is needed in this series. Jonathan Kuminga against Golden State this season averaged 25 points. His stuff is really, really needed. His body and what he brings to the table is going to be needed in this series. If Steve Kerr got to find a way to not only get him on the floor, but get his mental back. You have a young guy that, is up on the verge of getting a contract or fighting to get a contract, a big contract, and 2 of the most important games of the season, Steve Kerr goes to him before, the Clippers game and tell him that he's out of the rotation. So now you playing against the athletic Rockets team, which you need athleticism because, playing game against Memphis, Jimmy and Steph, they had 80% of the points. So you got to have somebody that's going to take that pressure off of them. And I think that guy is Jonathan Kuminga.
Wow. Kendrick, I know that I'm going to get away from the NBA. We're about to be up against it. Your son, I want to make an early pitch to get him to the University of Texas.
Hey, look, I'll tell you what, I would love to have him close to home.
Well, you got kinfolk in Austin, so he all right.
Yep, I would love to have him close to home. I will say I'm a little disappointed. They just fired one of my day ones, Brandon Chappelle, that I went to high school with, which he's going to land in Arizona today. But it's no hard feelings. Wherever Stone want to go, I'm with it.
I love it, man. As always, Kendrick, we appreciate you taking the time. I know you're a busy man, but thank you for taking the time, and we hope to talk to you a little bit later as these playoffs start to heat up.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all, legends. Thank y'all for having me.
No problem.
Appreciate you, man.
Legends of the Locker Room segment with Kendrick Perkins. Make sure you get over to our podcast page. My boy Marcus, I have that turned up for us real soon. But when we come back, you know what time it is. Mark Henry finna break it down for y'all right here on the world's strongest take on AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A major accident closes down all the lanes on Highway 71 westbound at Bee Caves Parkway. A stalled vehicle blocks off the right lane on the upper deck of I-35 southbound at 38.5 Street, and there's a 30-minute delay caused by a crash on 130 southbound around the Limmer Loop. You're backed up here from County Road 105. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Save on family favorites when you shop with digital coupons at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get oven-ready beef roast for just $6.97 per pound with digital coupon. Plus, get 1-pound packages of strawberries for only $1.97 each with digital coupon.
Ready to win some real cash during the basketball playoffs? Check out Pick Six from DraftKings. When it comes to basketball payouts, DraftKings Pick Six posterizes the competition, including prize picks. Hit all your picks and score higher minimum payouts on Pick Six, plus even more cash if you outscore the competition. Pick Six is available in most states, including the great state of Texas. I've enjoyed it, and you should too. New players get $50 in Pick Six instantly on just $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app now and use the code Spotlight. That's code Spotlight for customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick Six credits. Better payouts and bigger wins. Only at DraftKings Pick Six. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawal. That expires in 10 days. Limited time. .com/promos.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's like a Wendy's $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger, snug junior hot and crispy fries, and smoked soft drink is available all the time. Is the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 5-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
Factory Mattress.
Drive 10 minutes for $500? That's CarMax, Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $50,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
Oh, I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's
now.
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
No, I can't
sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Let me get ready for my take.
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank. Terms and conditions apply.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin area weather. Partly cloudy skies for your Thursday. A high in the upper 80s. Cloudy tonight. A low in the upper 60s. Friday, cloudy skies. Slight chance of a shower. A high near 90.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. It's time to bring people back into the hiring process. If posting jobs online and screening applicants is failing, turn to the experts. Express Employment Professionals. Go to ExpressPros.com to find the location near you. Express blends tech with local support. That's ExpressPros.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Alt 2K. A commercial-free look back to alternative from the 2000s.
It just takes some time, little girl in the middle of the ride.
With Foo Fighters,
Big bottles of water.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, and more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alt 2K, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
That's why number one.
Why number one? Because I'm the one.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Oh, you know why he's the one? Because he is a WWE Hall of Famer, and he is recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry, bringing you the world's strongest take. Take it away.
Hard.
What's up, man?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man, Marcus. Back then, they didn't know me. Now I'm hot, and I'm in Vegas. They all on me. Guys, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for what I saw last night with the Chicago Bulls. And we're in the NBA basketball season. The playoffs are cranking up, and you expect the best effort. You expect teams to honor that. If you didn't want to make it to the playoffs or to play in, then they should have shut it down like 2 weeks ago. Like, if you don't want to win, don't play. Don't play your best. Don't make it to the show and then embarrass yourself in front of the sports world. There's a lot of famed and talented guys, the Scottie Pippens and Michael Jordans and Steve Kerrs, like Dennis Rodman. They pride themselves on what Chicago Bull basketball is. And it was a poor representation of it last night. We just had Kendrick Perkins on. Kendrick played a long time in the league. And he even pointed out the fact that it was embarrassing. And he also pointed out the fact that the guy that's considered the best player on that team, the guy that has the biggest contract, Kobe White he's better than a role player, but he's not the one. The Bulls need to find a franchise player. They need a Giannis Antetokounmpo type player in Chicago. They need a Luka type player in Chicago. What is the Bulls organization doing? Now, and this is my take. This offseason is going to be a big one for Chicago, for San Antonio, for the 76ers, and the Bucks. Those teams I named are all in transitional periods with great players on their team. And I'm not saying that they need to do a big swap, but something needs to be done. What say you?
Well, I mean, the Bulls, they've been a long time away from the Michael Jordan era, man. It's that to me is just something that the Bulls have. They're not competing for championships anymore.
No,
it's not gonna happen.
And the league is better when they do.
Well, I mean, I think the league is better when it's the Lakers and it's the Boston Celtics. You got two coasts that are involved in it. I think having Golden State in the mix is good because you got that involved. But as far as the Bulls are concerned, since Michael Jordan been gone, when is the last time? Like, really, where you considered him? They thought Derrick Rose was going to be the face of it. He ended up having his injuries kind of derailed what they expected from them. But all in all, I don't think yes, you want the Bulls to be relevant because of the nostalgia. But overall, when was the last time you actually truly thought about the Chicago Bulls and said, man, I can't wait to see what they're going to do?
You haven't.
You don't anymore. And there was a time before Michael where they were the laughingstock of the league. Michael came into the league and was mad because these guys didn't care about winning near as much as he did. And that's when things started to change. And then after he left, Scottie went on his run. They tried to make, the little what's the dude from Slovenia? I think he was from Slovenia. Tony Kukoc. Tony Kukoc was the star of that team, and that's when everything started to go crazy. But since D Rose, they're just like the Chicago Cubs until the Cubs won the World Series. You know, you gotta try to find different ways to reinvent yourself. And Chicago's a great place to be, but yeah, I mean,
you trying to say they like the Cowboys?
They're pretty close. They're
They
pretty
really close.
Yeah, they're like we said, Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer using Jimmy Johnson's players were the last time that the Cowboys really did anything. So, yeah, those fans still love the Bulls. They deserve some great weekends, but they haven't been relevant in a long time.
Now, well, I'm very disappointed, and there's about 8 teams in the league that need to really evaluate, and I think that the league almost needs to step in and go, listen, are you going to spend money to get better?
Right.
Or are you gonna help us make this league better? Because they're failing as a league. They're top heavy.
Right.
They have about 8 teams that are like really good, and then everybody else is And for a league, you look at that happened in hockey about 10 years ago. When Wade Gretzky went out, hockey almost died. But now it's back.
Yeah.
Because of the diversity in the league, and all the teams are, kind of on an even playing field other than 2 teams.
Yeah.
Baseball has done it. Baseball bounced back. You remember when when Mark McGwire and all those guys started to fade out, baseball almost died.
Chicks dig the long ball.
And I don't know what it is, what the chicks dig in basketball, but whatever it is, they need to give it to them. They need to do it because the ratings are the lowest that they've ever been.
Yeah, they're going to need to try to figure something else out. But I'm telling you, if we can get the East Coast right and you have the Boston Celtics versus the Lakers, I think that will flip the script on the NBA because it's the best of both coasts. So a lot of people still are Laker fans, and you know how that goes. We'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick, and we'll also give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Jason Aldean coming up next right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show.
Life is Good by Joe Walsh.
Life's been good, but that's close enough for
right.
Joe.
When I see that album cover, for some reason, he looks like Dale Earnhardt to me. With the mustache. Now, I haven't really seen what he looks like in person.
Right.
Back when it was.
Trust me, if Dale Earnhardt were alive today, he would not look like Joe Walsh. There's not many people look like Joe Walsh how he looks today. Trust me.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A major accident closes down all the lanes on Highway 71 westbound at Bee Caves Parkway. A stopped vehicle blocks off the right lane on the upper deck of I-35 southbound at 38.5 Street, and there's a 30-minute delay caused by a crash on 130 southbound around the Limmer Loop. You're backed up here from County Road 105. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Save on family favorites when you shop with digital coupons at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get oven-ready beef roast for just $6.97 per pound with digital coupon. Plus, get 1-pound packages of strawberries for only $1.97 each with digital coupon.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%, and that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now, free. Don't pay unless you save. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
It's tax season, and by now I know we're tired of numbers, but here's an important one for you to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Here's another one, 20%. That's the overall increase in identity theft related to tax fraud in 2024 alone. It's not all grim news. There's a good number, 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every single second. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialists will work to fix it. Backed by another great number, the $1 Million Protection Package. In fact, restoration guaranteed or your money back. Don't face identity theft and financial losses alone. LifeLock Identity Theft Protection for tax season. Join now. Save up to 40% off your first year. Promo code Patrick. You can call 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com. Make sure you use the promo code Patrick for 40% off. Terms apply. LifeLock.com.
Hey, weekend warriors. How's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Summer's just around the corner. You remember summer? Hot, sticky, and almost unbearable. That's the one. It was brutal. This is Nolan Ryan. Be ready for another Texas scorcher with American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. American Standard Air. Clean, efficient, and dependable. Nothing better for your hill country home. Invest in your family's comfort. Take my word. Why fry? AmericanStandardAir.com. Comfort the way you like it.
When divorce puts your life's work on the line, Cordell & Cordell is ready to help you protect it. As a business owner, you've dedicated years building a legacy now at risk due to divorce. Let our experienced family law attorneys fight for you and that legacy. Cordell & Cordell is one of the nation's largest family law firms. Call to schedule your consultation today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, principal partner. CordellCordell.com.
63 years of cheers. Uncork the savings. Specs. The fun starts here.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Wake up with Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
At Eric C. Henry _. We also had the Texas baseball coach, Jim Schwarzenegger, talking about their big matchup that starts tonight. We'll get into that conversation. And, of course, we've had Kendrick Perkins of ESPN talking to us about the NBA playoffs, where the Dallas Mavericks get a dub last night and the Miami Heat find another way to get it going as well. But here's your chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Jason Aldean August the 16th at the Moody Center. All you got to do is get over to that iHeartRadio app. You know, the one that you're listening to right now, where you have us #1 as your preset, and tap that red microphone and leave the word Jason. Jason is the word of the day for a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Jason Aldean August the 16th at the Moody Center. Also, I want to give a shout out to myplates.com. Mark, myplates.com. Get over there and give yourself a chance to win, or not win, get a chance to buy a personalized license plate. Mark has bought up 6 of them, so you don't need all that. But I want y'all to get over there and get your chance to win, to sign up for a personalized license plate.
Man, I got shout outs too, man. I want to shout out my people over there at Mom Foods and Delicatessen, the best pastrami in the world. I'm trying to get Hardge to come over there and have some pastrami with me, but he's a brisket guy.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No pastrami for you, boy. No pastrami.
Come on, man. Listen, you ever had matzo ball soup?
No.
Hey, I'm going to introduce you to some things, man.
Oh, you can introduce me. I don't know how long I'm going to talk to him, but you can introduce me to as always. All right, check this out. Texas baseball has a big weekend that starts tonight. Texas softball also has a big weekend as well. They had a tough one last week, but now they get a chance to get back onto the diamond as they will be taking on LSU this weekend. First game tonight at 4:30, tomorrow 4:30, and then Saturday they will throw the first pitch at 11 a.m. It is going to be busy around Dish Falk Field and Red and Charlene McCombs Field. So make sure you make your arrangements now to get over there early to check it out. As far as baseball is concerned, you can listen to the game tonight on 103.1 FM. Tomorrow night, you will listen to it as well. That will be at 6 o'clock on 103.1. And then Saturday, it will be on AM 1300, The Zone, at noon. Craig Way and Keith Moreland will be on the call. I will be on the call this weekend for SEC Network Plus. Myself and David Saltzman will be calling the game on the SEC Plus Network. Mark, you are in Las Vegas for WrestleMania. You've got some big events that you have going on all weekend long as well.
Yeah, All Caribbean. We have a show tonight, 10 p.m. Till 12. So that's going to be a late show. There's all kind of activities going on. My other job, SiriusXM Busted Open, we're doing live shows this whole week in front of audience, which is new for us. So I got an hour and 30 minutes of rest, and then I got to go downstairs and get ready to greet the people for another show for 3 hours.
Can you please get some rest for real? Because we're going to need you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Need you to be locked and ready to go.
I already called in sick.
to what location? Not to here. I know that.
I was like, you didn't get the email?
No, I did not get the email. So I will not be looking for that email. I'm gonna be
I'll see y'all bright and early tomorrow, man.
It's gonna be no recipient.
Listen, I'm gonna see y'all bright and early. Like, the one thing about being the boss is I don't have to hang around.
That's the good thing about it.
I'll go over there and make a couple of announcements. I guess I can make an announcement with you guys is that I've already the announcements that's going to be made with the crew tonight is I made a relationship with the WWE to be a part of the ID program. So now All Caribbean Wrestling will be a part of the ID program. We'll be using the WWE developmental talent that are on the indies. So it's a big deal. I'm trying to make moves. I stay busy.
No doubt.
I want to be a success, but I want the people that work for me to be a success. So, long after I'm gone, we'll still have, a legacy of success. So I'm working, man.
Speaking of being gone, Nico Amalivia is now reportedly going to go to UCLA after Tulane pulled out of the conversations. It looks like he may end up being a Bruin. My cousin is a former UCLA player who's still connected to the program. And he said, why is everybody telling me that this kid may be coming here? Don't they know what's going on? And do we even have that type of money? Well, they were seeking more money, and it looks like he's going to be getting less money than what was expected. Former player around this area from God, what school was he at? Weiss. Weiss is the school that I was thinking about. Adrian Wilson, one of the hottest names that is out there. He went to Colorado, and now he is now on the market, and it looks like he has gone from Colorado to go play for Bill Belichick in North Carolina. Belichick said, I don't want the quarterback. I need myself a wide receiver. This is a true freshman wide receiver who has had multiple commitments throughout his senior year. At one point, he was committed to TCU, then to Oregon, also Oregon State, before flipping to Colorado in October. And now he's already in the transfer portal and will be headed to North Carolina. This stuff
has he caught a pass yet?
No, he is not.
He's committed to 5 teams and haven't caught a pass?
It has not caught a pass yet, so we will see how this all turns out. Because he's a local kid, obviously we want him to be successful. We want nothing but the best for him. All these kids, we want to have success, but my goodness, man, slow it down, sit down, and get yourself together, because do we even care about education anymore? We'll talk about all of that and continue to see what's happening. Tomorrow, we'll recap game 1 of Texas and Auburn, a top 10 matchup at the Dish. But tune in this afternoon for the Craig Way Show with Cam Parker as they get ready to update you on all things happening. Mark, be safe. Marcus,
see y'all tomorrow, guys.
Of course, just remember this. Don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Have a great day, folks. Peace.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us